Hi, friends. Welcome back. Today I am reviewing The Bell Tolls at Traeger Hall by Jaime Jo Wright. This is a gothic mystery filled with dark secrets, whispers of the supernatural, and haunting family legacies. Last year I read The Lost Boys of Barlow Theater, and it was one of my favorite books of the year. Jaime Jo Wright has such a vividly descriptive way of crafting her fictional worlds. She has this talent for writing stories that completely pull you in. This book was full of mystery and suspense and eerie paranormal possibility. Wright understands the Gothic atmosphere so well. She writes in a way that makes you feel the damp darkness. You can hear the creak of the old floorboards. You can see the flicker of the candle in the long, dark corridors. The world she creates is haunting and immersive. Both timelines are equally important to how the story unfolds, but I found myself a bit more emotionally connected to the 1890s story of Waverly rather than the present day story of Jennie. Waverly's story was one of grit and fight and struggle. She suffered through injustice and waded through thick family secrets. She was a woman fighting to be seen and heard in a world that wanted to silence women in that time. Her story became the foundation for everything that happened afterward. The reason that Traeger Hall was shut down, haunted by tragedy and rumor. Don't get me wrong, Jennie's chapters were also very compelling as she wrestled with Traeger Hall falling into her lap. And does she reopen it or does she let it get demolished? But Waverly's chapters were really the heart and soul of the entire book. The 1890s characters were absolute scoundrels. So proper and polite in public, but behind closed doors, woo! That's what I love about these historical fiction settings. Everyone is so focused on decorum, but everyone is hiding secrets. It makes the murder mysteries really interesting. And this was a time when women were expected to simply keep the household and to marry. And I love a story that has a strong, independent woman who wants to break those expectations and create her own life. Waverly doesn't just stay quiet and do what's expected. She fights to discover the truth. The modern day characters all carry such heaviness. There was a lot of grief and loss. In fact, it was loss that led Jennie to Traeger Hall in the first place. And it was loss that connects her with Zane and Milo, a family that helps her decide what to do with Traeger Hall now that its future is officially her decision. There were also delicate touches of romance in both storylines. They were little bits of warmth in a dark, dark mystery. This story is steeped in family, but also betrayal and lies and secrets, all wrapped up in an atmosphere of darkness and death and old curses. It's about how the choice of one person can ripple through generations, and how guilt and superstition can cling to a place long after the people are gone. I absolutely loved being transported into another one of Jaime Jo Wright's worlds. Her storytelling is moody and rich and emotional. The Bell Tolls at Traeger Hall was every bit as devious and eerie and beautifully written as I hoped it would be. If you love Gothic mysteries with dual timelines, emotional depth, and the perfect balance of darkness, eerie suspicion, and a hint of romance, then you should read The Bell Tolls at Traeger Hall. You should probably also read The Lost Boys of Barlow Theater and basically anything else that Jaime Jo Wright has written. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you can find a link to my full review in the description below, as well as the list of all of my 2025 reads on Amazon. And if you like books as much as I do, then you should probably subscribe so that you can see more content like this. I hope you have a delightful day.